A boy named Sammy arrives at his father's church, wounded and scared, holding a guitar after a fight. His father, the community pastor, tells his son he must give up the guitar, seeing the music Sammy plays and the place where he performs as sinful. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because our story begins a day earlier.
Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie.
In 1932, twin brothers and World War I veterans, Smoke and Stack, returned to the Mississippi Delta after years working for the mob in Chicago. With money stolen from gangsters, they buy a sawmill from the landowner Hogwood, a Ku Klux Klan member, to open a blues bar for the local black community.
Klan don't exist no more.
I don't believe you.
The twins hire their cousin Sammy, an aspiring guitarist who loves playing blues, though his father, the community pastor, opposes it, believing such practices are supernatural.
Keep dancing with the devil. One day it's gonna follow you home.
Smoke goes to town to buy food, drinks, and supplies for the bar, hiring local Chinese merchants Grace and Bo as suppliers. Someone tries to rob Smoke, but he shoots one in the butt. Seeing the twins have returned, the thieves get scared since the brothers command much respect in town. To maintain that respect, Smoke shoots the other in the leg. Meanwhile, Stack is impressed by Sammy's musical talent. Watching him play the guitar he and his brother gifted him years ago. The two go to the train station to recruit another musician, a pianist named Delta Slim, who initially refuses, but Stack offers Irish beer from Chicago to convince him.
Nah. Goodness. I'm in.
After a mini performance, Stack persuades people to come to their bar that night. There, Sammy meets a singer named Pearline and falls in love with her. Later, Stack runs into his ex-girlfriend Mary, who confronts him for abandoning her and not attending her recently deceased mother's funeral, who always took care of them.
Rotten hell, Stack.
Yeah, I will.
They then hire field worker Cornbread as a bouncer. Meanwhile, Smoke visits his ex-wife Annie to hire her as a cook. Annie is a believer in the occult, but Smoke is skeptical, having seen nothing supernatural in his travels, concluding that the only real power is money. Annie confesses she's done some witchcraft to keep him and his brother safe on their travels. Neither Smoke nor Annie understands why that magic didn't protect their deceased daughter. Smoke still has a talisman Annie gave him for protection and hands it back for her to use her magic. Smoke confesses he still loves Annie, leading to a legendary sex scene. Meanwhile, an Irish immigrant named Remick arrives at a house of Ku Klux Klan members seeking help.
Oh boy.
Pursued by a group of Choctaw who warn the locals that he's not what he seems and shouldn't have been let in. Seeing night is falling, the Choctaw leave. When the woman looks for her husband, she realizes Remick is a vampire who turns the couple into vampires.
Don't cry.
The twins open the bar, attended by a large crowd, including the girl Sammy likes and Stack's ex. Stack tries to get Mary out to avoid trouble if any Ku Klux Klan members see her, which is why he left her to protect her. But Mary doesn't care and stays. Soon, Sammy starts playing his guitar. His music so transcendent it tears the veil between life and death, summoning spirits from the past and even the future.
What the hell is happening?
This doesn't make much sense, but there are vampires in this movie, so anything goes.
True.
The vampires notice and are drawn to it, deciding to head to the bar. Meanwhile, my boy Sammy is about to lose his virginity.
My man.
Boy found that button, didn't he?
The twins realize Remick and his followers want to enter, pretending to be good folks who just want to sing at the bar. But the twins don't trust them and tell them to leave. The vampires leave without protest. Learning the bar isn't making enough money to stay open, Mary goes to find Remick to bring them back. She finds him singing with his followers near the bar, showing off the gold they have to spend. Mary notices these people aren't normal and threatens them to leave, but a gun won't hurt a vampire, so Remick turns her to infiltrate the bar. Meanwhile, Cornbread, while going to pee, is also turned. Mary shows the gold to Stack, seduces him, bites him, and kills him. Smoke realizes and shoots Mary, but it does nothing.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
And she flees. Because of this, Slim tells everyone to leave the bar. Annie thinks Mary was possessed by an evil entity and tells Smoke to take the body away before it returns, but he's too shocked to act. Cornbread returns, asking Smoke to let him in, but Annie realizes he's one of them.
Why you can't just walk your big ass up in here without an invite, huh?
Cornbread pretends to be offended and demands payment for his work. As Smoke is about to pay, Cornbread tries to bite him, but Smoke is quicker and shoots. Realizing they can't enter, they barricade themselves in the bar. But Stack wakes up as a vampire, breaks the door, and flees, not before Annie throws garlic vinegar on him, confirming what they are.
These ain't hates. They vampires.
Annie knows how to defeat them and tells the others to arm themselves with stakes and holy water. They find a man lying on the ground, thinking he might have been bitten, and drag him out, but he was just drunk, so now he gets bitten. The vampires start singing, letting the survivors know they've turned everyone who left the bar. At that moment, Bo, now a vampire, tries to lure Grace out of the bar. Remick appears, offering them a better life free of racism, claiming he came for Sammy, drawn by his spiritual powers, wanting him to help resurrect spirits from his lost commune. But Smoke and the others won't let that happen. To persuade them, Remick reveals Hogwood is the Ku Klux Klan leader and planned with his men to attack them at dawn. He offers them to join the vampires to form a community free of discrimination. The survivors refuse, though they're terrified. The vampire starts singing, threatening to kill Grace's daughter. Grace panics and tries to leave, but Smoke and Annie try to stop her. She shouts that they can come in, leaving them no choice but to face the vampires with Molotov cocktails, stakes, and any weapons they have. The fight begins, and they manage to kill several vampires. But Grace and Annie get bitten. To prevent Annie from turning, Smoke stakes her. Seeing what happened to Annie, Mary flees, devastated. Only Smoke, Slim, Sammy, and Pearline remain alive. Slim sacrifices himself so the others can escape and protect Sammy, but Remick finds them. Pearline tries to kill him, but Remick bites her. Smoke fights his brother while Sammy tries to escape, but Remick grabs him to bite him. Sammy starts praying, but these vampires aren't harmed by faith, or maybe Sammy doesn't have much faith. What does hurt is a guitar smashed to the head. Smoke wins the fight, freeing his brother from evil's clutches. Remick prepares to turn Sammy, but Smoke arrives to stop him. Just then, the sun rises, burning all the vampires to ashes. Smoke tells Sammy to go home and bury the guitar, but Sammy refuses. Remembering what the vampires said, Smoke prepares for the Ku Klux Klan's arrival, fights them, and kills them all. But he's wounded in the process. He has a vision of Annie and her daughter before dying. Meanwhile, Sammy arrives at his father's church, where his father, the pastor, tells him to leave the guitar behind to find salvation, but Sammy refuses and flees the town. 60 years later, Sammy becomes a successful musician. One night, Stack and Mary visit him, revealing Mary escaped that night, and Stack was forgiven by his brother with the promise not to harm Sammy. Realizing Sammy doesn't have much time left, Stack offers him eternal life, but Sammy declines. The vampire asks him to play the guitar for them, and before leaving, Sammy confesses that though that night has haunted him his whole life, it felt like the best night of his life. Stack agrees, saying it was the night they felt free, and that is how the movie ends.